Good morning, South Beach. Welcome to the world famous Fifth Street Gym podcast with our special guest, Daniele Scardina, IBF International Super-Middleweight Champion. Danny, welcome to the show.
What's up, Danny? How are you?
For the interview, I'm good.
So, Danny's back here. He was he was on Dancing with the Stars, and he just took runner-up. You were runner-up with Dancing with the Stars in Italy, and he's back here and ready to go. He started training. He's fighting February 26th. He's fighting in Italy for the. You're defending the international.
No, it's gonna be debut European title.
So he's fighting for the European title. Sorry about that. But you currently do have the IBF international title, if I'm not mistaken. So he's fighting for the European title. And how's your training coming along?
The camp is super good. We train so hard, and I'm so happy to be back and train with my coach and train with you guys. So I'm super happy and super motivated.
So Stallion, how's the training going from a coaching standpoint of view?
There's nobody I've ever had that trains as hard as him, so I've never asked him anything he doesn't do it. That being said, being in Miami Beach, we're fortunate to have access to high-level sparring. In particular, we've been sparring twice a week with Anthony Durrell, the former super-middleweight champion of the world. And it's been really very competitive, very interesting. Sugar Hill, as coach, has been very accommodating, and so that alone has been great. We have a little standard that we use. We go to the track. We go an 800 meter. We don't do. I press the clock. He does.
I get to watch.
800 meter sprints essentially that he does in under 3 minutes. It takes a minute break, just like a boxing match, and repeats. And he just did 12 of those a couple days ago. So his cardio is at peak level. He's going to do 12 rounds with the champ tomorrow. And when we know that is the case, we have those certain markers that we set. When they're playing his intro music, we're walking the ring, we know we can't be beat.
So how I know you were off for quite a bit with the COVID-19 thing. How have you adapted to being off for so long and then coming back and starting training since you haven't been in the ring for what? It's been over a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like 1 year and 3 months. Something like that.
Yeah. Is this the longest you've gone without fighting?
Yeah.
And then, how's the layoff affected you? Good, bad?
That affected me. I mean, the beginning with my mind, because I was ready to fight. Like in 2020, February 2020, I was ready to fight, and then they stopped everything. But we gotta be strong. We gotta be strong and be ready to fight.
And so how do you keep your focus? The fact that you were off for so long, you had Dancing with the Stars. How do you get your focus back? How do you feel like you're getting your focus back?
I mean, it wasn't that easy because I was traveling a lot, so it was hard for me. But that's what I want. That's what I need. I mean, to be champion. That's what I want, and that's what I need. So I have to be focused no matter what. And that's what I love, so I do with love,
What drives you? Is there something that drives you? Is it like you want to be champion? Is it your legacy? What drives you to want to be champion?
The beginning was to change my life, to make my dream come true, and to change my life, to make my family be comfortable and good, and make my dream come true. That's my dream.
And then you want to tell us a little bit how you came to the gym so people out there know, like, how did you come to the Fifth Street Gym? How did you start with Coach Dino? I mean, we know, but they want to know.
That was like 1 year ago?
No, the first time.
The first
time, like 10 years ago?
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago. So I just came. I talked with somebody else. They asked me money in the beginning, but then I met Dino. And he told me, okay, just call.
He actually came to the gym at the original location, and the manager wanted to charge him $1,000 a month or some ridiculous thing for a guy that had no fights, really no experience, and clearly no money. And he comes from he's not going to tell you, but he comes from very humble beginnings. I've been to his neighborhood. It's a rough neighborhood. And there's a lot of poor people there that are struggling. And to get out of there, it's very simple, like a lot of poor neighborhoods, to think that there's no way out. And he's scratched his way out. And now here he lives in Miami Beach, and everyone thinks he's like living the high life. But they don't know how much work he put in. Matter of fact, he asked me to train him the first day, and I told him, no, I don't hold pads for anybody but professionals. And he's like, well, I want to be professional. I'm like, well, what do you mean you want to? Like, who are you? And it turned out he fought in the World Series of Boxing, had some quality wins. Didn't have an extensive amateur background, but a quality amateur background. And it was enough. His energy, something about him, made me, feel it. Everyone knows I have a soft spot for Italians. So that and his personality, I just felt comfortable with giving him a shot and investing my blood and sweat into it. And I thought if we both put our heart and soul into it, we'll get somewhere. And a lot of pro coaches, have the luxury of having guys that are, gold medalists or national champions or already have extensive pro records, and then they go to a Freddie Roach or somewhere. I'm so enthusiastic about this because from scratch, really from scratch. When he does it, obviously he gets the majority of the credit. But whatever's left over, I feel very responsible that I can take the credit for because we really did something together.
So, Danny, how do you feel about Coach Dino, training with him? What do you like about him? What are things that, tell us a little bit about the training with him here at the gym?
He's my family now, so everybody knows that. He's part of me. When I'm on the ring, I need to feel his presence, his energy, his presence, yeah. And we learn together too. We learn stuff together. We work hard together. And he always with me. Even the 31st of December, he was there on the track with me, in training with me. So he suffered with me. And that's the most important, I think so. I can train maybe somewhere else, but that's my house. That's where I feel comfortable. It's my family. So.
And a lot of people don't know that Danny's been with us since basically we opened the gym, and he's been loyal to the gym and to Dino. And tell us a little bit about Dancing with the Stars. What was that like to be on Dancing with the Stars in Italy?
But that was great. It was a good experience, and I think the dancing was. It helped me a lot with boxing too, because they opened my mind a lot, and it was a great experience. I met a lot of good people. A lot of people know me now there, even people who don't know nothing about boxing, they now know me, and so they just start to follow box, because they want to know more, because I show something what they don't really know, so it was a really good experience, and I'm so happy, so blessed about that.
Personal question. Are you dating anyone? I know a lot of the girls like you. You're a good-looking guy. You're young.
I'm free.
You're free. You hear that? He's free. So ladies out there.
He's married to boxing.
Yeah, I'm just super focused right now. I just think about my career. And
I'll tell you about the Dance with the Stars. He came back a better fighter, even though he did no fighting. He came back with better coordination, better rhythm, better footwork, lighter on his feet. And the COVID-19 was terrible. He did some serious long quarantines alone. Italy was locked down way worse than Florida was, even way worse than the United States. And, we always talk about the man upstairs, talking to him and giving him an opportunity to be successful and remind him how tough life is. And then you come back here where it's hard training, but we're in paradise. We have freedoms here, we have rights here, we have the weather here, we have the beach here, we have each other here, so it really made him appreciate. He comes back appreciative. And there's times that we bump heads. We're from different generations.
You're always going to have
that alone. The music that he makes me listen to, you can't even imagine.
But, I've heard it.
But, so that being said, we find the middle ground all the time, and, he's always been super respectful, and his brother is like now my brother, and, a story, we were in Italy for his fight, and my daughter was sick. His brother did everything he could to make sure my daughter was at the hospital and straightened out. Unbelievable.
On a different note, We know you got a special diet now. What's your favorite food? Like in Italy, what do you like to eat? Just out of curiosity, because I love Italian food. You know, you're Italian. Like if you could have, like right after the fight, you go out to dinner. What do you like to eat?
You know, pasta. But what I like to eat when I have my chill meal, for example, is pizza. Pizza. I just need it, you know. But you know, in Italy we have a lot of good food. So
The problem is, we get every fight we get out, he's the main event. There's nowhere to eat, everything's closed.
yeah,
It's terrible.
yeah, everything's good. But we always find something.
We find something.
Yeah.
So give us an idea now with your diet. Like how do you eat now? Like what's a diet consist of? So people who aren't in boxing, who are watching this, they have an idea like what you have to go through like a regular day.
I gotta lose a lot of weight, you know, because I got too much weight. But usually I do oatmeal in the morning, so I put a lot of carbs in the morning, and then just eat vegetable and protein, just like that, like the coach say.
That's right.
Veg and protein.
So like give us a day of like Daniele's training. I know, but for people out here, like give us a day of like what the
So he
training
wakes up and does, he runs for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour on an empty stomach. He has oatmeal. He comes to the gym and kind of hangs out and has coffee. And, you know, we didn't close. It's very, very important. We never closed the gym for Muhammad Ali. We're not closing for Danny or Adriana Lima or anybody else. So everybody interacts with everybody and shares each other's energy. And it becomes important because the fighter in the end is there alone. You know, in the ring.
In the
alone.
ring.
Right? But in the meantime, it's important that we all as a community at Fifth Street Gym support these guys and not make them feel alone on a daily basis. Because then, after he has his coffee, then he works out. He works out with a bunch of people doing drills with a wide variety of people, and the heavy bags and the mitts and all your standard boxing stuff. Then from there, it's home to eat a small, tiny little meal of fish and vegetables.
Which you just did and came back here just to do this podcast for us. So.
And then it's strength and conditioning and or running on the track or deep sand in the beach. It's a little cold. It's only 75 degrees here in Miami. So we're not going to be swimming, but even when it gets a little warmer, we'll be swimming as well. But it's usually anywhere from 2 to 4 workouts a day. If we're lucky, we get some cryotherapy in or massage or extra stretching. We try to plug in different things. But it's basically going to be, you're going to box every day and do some conditioning every day, in addition to running.
And speaking of the cryotherapy, is there any way we can maybe put a link in so people that want to do it, we'll add a link for you guys so people can go over there.
Reset cryotherapy here in Miami Beach, you get hooked up.
Which helps, especially at the level that Daniele trains in. And tell us a little bit about the fight coming up. Who you fighting? We got the date, February.
Yeah,
and what's this fight mean? You know, we win the fight and you win the fight. Where do we go from here? What do you think?
I'm just thinking about the next fight right now, and just think about my next opponent and win the belt, because he's a vacant belt. So I'm just thinking about that right now. I know it's gonna be a tough fight. The opponent is a good opponent, so we work out to.
He's a tough guy that's only lost he's only lost twice to good guys, and he's very aggressive. He's the Spanish champion, and to be the European title, it's a big step.
It's a big step.
He's already 13 in the world on some of the lists, 14. So this should push us to the top 10. And the world title is only a few fights away. But like you said, we're worried about this guy right now.
Yeah.
So for some people, a vacant belt means nobody has a belt. There's really not a champion. So the vacant belt means that Daniele and his opponent are both fighting for it. That's why it's vacant, and there's nobody defending it. So for some people that might not know what the vacant belt means, that's what. So the opponent, you know him, you've studied him, you know what to expect.
We saw some,
you know how to go in there.
Videos, but I like to work about me. I mean, about what we want to do, what we have to do. So we know him. We saw some video, but just I want to work about me.
Got you. Anything you want to tell people watching this? Since we've had you here for a while, and now you need to get back to your training.
Just to watch me the February 26th on the zone, and who can come at the Fifth Street Gym, we will welcome.
Yeah, everyone's welcome. You come see him live and in person. He's sparring here a couple days a week with a wide variety of people. So the more exposure to us, the more you're welcome to come. The doors are always open.
Always open.
We'd love to have you.
And the zone is DAZN, so people don't know what that is. That is where Danny's fight's going to be on February
26th.
26th. And you could watch him there and support. He's got his Instagram page. He's got a bunch of followers. Follow me on Instagram.
Daniele Toretto.
And we call him King Toretto. And our second episode, we got a good guy here. And thank you guys for watching.
I am the greatest.